Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to Event Builder, where we are doing a live review. So I'm live streaming. This is not pre-recorded, and this is a live review of the Bose Pro8 portable PA system. So this is the PA system that I literally just got done using at an event. And the reason why I wanted to do this review is because I thought it was a really great system. So this system comes in separate pieces. So you've got the subwoofer down at the bottom that has the built-in mixer, and I'll pull up that mixer here in a second. So it's got the mixer on the back where you can adjust different levels for channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. It's got multiple inputs in it. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth or a laptop via Bluetooth. You can connect the items via a direct box and XLR input. You can connect microphones. You can connect pianos. So there's all different types of ways that you can use this. And as I mentioned, so I literally just got back this past weekend. My wife and I took our family for the second time to what's called a Lighthouse Family Retreat. So, Lighthouse, if you're unfamiliar with them, they are an amazing nonprofit, and they're based out of the Atlanta area. And what they do is they help. These are the volunteers. I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, I can. I can zoom in. So you can see right here in the back. This is my head, and this is my son right there. And then my wife is right there in the back as well. And so, Lighthouse, what they do is they organize retreats and getaway weekends for families that have kids that have been battling cancer or have just finished battling cancer. Now, my family, we are not in that stage of life. We are not I don't have any kids that are battling cancer. We were there on staff. So they bring in volunteers and they bring in staff. And both the volunteers and the staff, the goal is to help the families have as much fun as possible, have a relaxing time, help the kids to have a good time and play, help the parents to get away and be able to connect with other parents that have had kids that are battling this as well. And so, as I said, I was on staff. So I was on the microphone as the host MC of the entire week. And so while I was there, I was leading devotionals. I was leading different dance parties and things. So one night we had what we call is called the unbirthday party. So there underneath the tent, we had pizza, we had ice cream, we had a conga line at one point. Really big dance party. We were doing the wobble and the cha-cha slide and all of the traditional line, the Cupid shuffle, the traditional line dances. And so this Bose sound system, I just got. This is what we used underneath this tent the whole time. So the way that this kind of works, the whole retreat does is on site, so around where you'll see this the big tent. This big tent was on a green space at a resort, and so all the families got to stay in their own condo unit, and then we all came together for meals. And so underneath this tent, you'll see around here, you'll see that this kind of set up in a stage system. So I'm going to go underneath the tent here in this picture, and you can see that this empty space is right here, and right to the right side of this tent, to this right corner of this tent. So this table right here is where the sound system was set up the whole time. And this empty area, I know that there's equipment and stuff underneath that. I didn't get a great picture without the equipment. But this table right here, we had a tablecloth on it. We had the sound system on it, so it looked pretty nice. And so the Bose tower, as you can see, this base right here was sitting on that table. So sitting right here on this table, and I've got a close-up shot of this table. So this is where the Bose system was sitting. This is the corner of the tent right here, and then it was facing the stage area with everybody that was facing there. And so this sound system was great for this size event. We had, if you look, this going back to the picture of the people. So these are all of the staff and the volunteer that were there, or at least most of them. And then not only that, but we had the retreat families, which were the families that had the kids. This is who it was for. They had the families that had the kids that had cancer, that had been battling cancer. And it wasn't just their children who had cancer, it was their whole family. So if they had 5 kids and one of them was battling cancer, they got to come with all 5 kids. And so we had probably about 150 people, maybe approaching 200 people at this retreat. And so this sound system was great. because you can extend it upwards. This is an extendable item, and I'll put the name of the or I have the name of the system there. I'm going to take it down. But the Bose system was great because not only could you set it up on the table with what we did is you can extend it even taller if you need to, but we didn't use this extender piece. We just put this piece directly on the top right here. And so it was stacked there. That way, going back to this tent, it wasn't poking up above the tent because we were down in the corner. So it's great because of that reason. But the number one reason why I wanted to highlight this one, and I put together some pros and some cons for using this sound system, is number one, it was easy to use. Going back to the back of this system, and even to the front of the system. So number one, you can see that it was a stackable system. So you have the tower here that was sitting on the table, and then you have an extendable piece. And actually, this is the one that we were using. So you have an extendable piece, and then you have the speaker itself. And so here you can see we didn't use this piece. All you got to do is set it down, and then you set this on the top of it, and then you plug everything in. So it was very easy to use. And on top of that, the mixer that's on the back of it, the built-in mixer, this was easy to use as well. So these control buttons you push in if you want to change between volume, treble, bass, or reverb, whatever you're controlling. It's just an adjustable knob. It's very faint to see, but if I zoom in right here, you can kind of see the outline where if this were on, this would light up. If you're adjusting the volume, it would light up to maybe the mid-range if you're putting the volume in that way. And so because this is a three-prong mixer right here, which you can see the three different channels, you've got channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, you've got a mute button, you've got a couple of different options for channel 1 and channel 2. You can either do quarter-inch input right here or XLR. You can do quarter-inch input right here or auxiliary or Bluetooth on this one. So this is the Bluetooth button you would push and hold to connect a device just like anything else. You can insert a headphone jack cable straight here, which you can then run to a computer. That's what I did most of the time. Or you can also run the quarter-inch. And this channel 3, you can have both auxiliary and quarter-inch plugged in at the same time, and you can play music from either one, as well as you can have a Bluetooth. So really, channel 3, you can have three different things connected all at the same time, where we had a phone on Bluetooth on Spotify, and then a lot of times what would happen is then I would leave my computer because the person needed their phone. So they would take their phone with them. And then what we would do is with this mixer is then we would leave my computer. So we would take over on the auxiliary. We would hit pause on the phone, disconnect the phone from Bluetooth, and just hit play from the computer for the auxiliary. And then during the actual event that we were hosting, we also had different speakers. So I was on the microphone. We had a keyboard, someone playing the keyboard. We had the person that was playing the keyboard was using a different microphone that was tapped directly into this XLR input. And then we had a guitar that was tapped in to the second channel that's right here. So we had it pretty tapped out, but it was really easy to use. And it was just really fun and simple to set up. And so the second part about this is it had great sound. So if I go back to this dance party picture that we have here for the unbirthday, so you can see that we've got quite a bit of people underneath the tent. And with this tent set up with the people different around, you could easily hear the music was great to listen to through Spotify and through Apple iTunes and through other devices. Number two, the sound was great on the microphone, so you could adjust different levels as needed for the microphones, as well as then it was for live music. It was a great sound system as well. It sounded crisp, it sounded clear, and it was a great sound system. Number three, it was easy to move. So we did, I don't have a picture pulled up here, but when we were moving from location to location, we would move from this tent down to the beach. We did a beach evening of worship one time for the family. So we're playing live music again, two different vocalists, piano, guitar. And really, people that were walking by on the beach, they ended up stopping because they heard what was going on and they were able to listen as well. So not only did we have our group out on the beach, and it was over the waves, it was over the crashing waves, the wind, and then there were just the spread out people, and it projected a great sound, which I said was number two. But when we were able to move it down there, you can easily disconnect the tower, unplug everything, put it into the back of a truck, and then move it to a new location. The extendable tower is definitely a pro. So going back to the picture of this, let me pull up the screen share. So if we go back to this picture, the extendable tower is definitely a pro. So we had it sitting just directly on top of it, but you can add this extra bar to give it extra height. And the reason why that's really important is because if you have it sitting on a table and then you have the base about yay high, and then you add it on top of it, well, if someone walks by it, their body is going to be almost like a sound dampener. It's going to be hard. If you get more people and more people and more people, if you have a dance party like what we had, you're going to need that extendable one to get above the head so that the sound can be heard in the back of the room. So that extendable tower is great. The fifth pro that I have for this system is that it's loud enough, right? So it's loud enough to get the job done. Now, I say that to say it wasn't the loudest that it possibly could be. I generally prefer to use other sound systems, ones that have a mixer on a table, and then you run cords to other sound units that are up on tripods. But this one was loud enough for this event. I wouldn't have more people than I had. So when the dance floor was going, we probably had about 40 people on the dance floor. There were kids and some adults, and then in that tight little space. If you want to have more people on a dance floor, or if you want to have more people under a tent, or more people outdoors, or more people indoors than what we had, which is again about 100 to 150 people listening or 50 people dancing, if there were any more than that, I would go with a different sound system or start to think about a additional one. The sixth thing and the final pro that I have listed for this sound system in particular is the back built-in mixer. I can't get over the fact that it's got 3 channels built into it, and all 3 channels are easy to use, and they've got multiple options for how you can use them. And so this built-in mixer was really great. I'm going to go back and show you guys again the back of the mixer for this Bose L1, the Pro 8. So here you can see, again, the volume knobs on the top where you can then push the button and depress it. And then you can toggle between volume to treble to bass to reverb, adjustable knob there. And then if we zoom in here, again, we've got XLR inputs, cables. We've got 1/4-inch cables that we can insert. And then not only that, I haven't talked about this, but you can also connect the system to a different system. So let's say this is your main portion, and then you want to run a line in from a different system or run a line out. You can do that right here where we've got line out, and you can connect more towers of these. So you just would run out of this line out into another tower, into another tower's line in. So maybe you use this as the main mixer and then you run the line out into a different one. Or you can also connect it, just then you can daisy chain to even more speakers or into a mixer, which towards the end of the event, what we did is we had a mixer that we were able to adjust the EQ. So the highs, the mids, and the lows for people's voices and for the guitars. So we ran that mixer, then everything then ran into the mixer and then ran into this system. So you can use it that way, or you can just use it if you're running a very simple event with just a couple of devices. This mixer is a really great option. So now to go to the cons. One of the cons of this system is it's not exactly cheap. So it is a $1,300 price tag if you go to either Bose or go to Amazon. I do have an Amazon affiliate link so that if you click on it and you buy something through either that or through something else through Amazon within a certain amount of time, there is a portion that I earn as a creator. But so it's not an inexpensive system to use. And so pulling this back up, if you look at it, one of the things that I do like about it that I didn't list as a pro, but it's just really simple and it's clean looking. And Bose has done a really great job, as I mentioned, at creating a really simple setup, but a really clean setup, and it's a really great sound. Bose is a very quality sound system in general, sound company. But because of that reason, it's not a cheap system. If you're going to do multiple events and you're going to need systems where again you have more than 150 people listening if they're seated around in kind of an area, and you really want a robust sound, you're going to have to go with this plus something. Or if I were you, I would go, my professional opinion, because I've done AV for hundreds of events in my career, is I would go with something different. Something, you have a tripod, you've got speakers up, you're getting above the head, and each speaker is able to have the subwoofer and the tweeter built in so that you get both the highs and the lows and the mids. And it's all going above someone's head so that you can reach the back of the room. You can have more than 50 people on the dance floor. And so you can do that, and you can piece together these through the secondhand market, buying it used or even renting it in a different aspect. And so then the final one that it's not a pro, this is a con, is that this system must be set on either the floor or the table, to the best of my knowledge. Now, maybe you can add it to a tripod, but it might, not a tripod, but a speaker stand, but it would look kind of weird, right? A speaker stand is you've got a tripod and you've got a long stick. So this would be sitting up on top of that. I don't think that's built into it. And so that is definitely a con. Now, for this simple event that I showed you, again, where you have one person on the microphone, you're able to set it on a table like this in order to have a setup like this. It's not a bad thing to have that set up. It's easy to move around, easy to use. But again, going back to the cons, is if you do want to have a different setup, or if you need to get it, like say, for example, you need to get up higher for some reason, it just looks a little bit awkward because you're going to have to set it on top of a shelf or I don't even know what you would put it on to get it up even higher. So because of all of those reasons, with those 6 pros that I gave you and the 2 cons, I would say that this sound system, the Bose L1 Pro8 system, is great for small to mid-size events. And so these events are going to be things like outdoor events where you're moving from place to place, or you have 50 to 100, maybe 150 people like we had. We were kind of pushing the system to its limits. And so the small to mid-size events is what this is going to be for. So this would be great for if you have an outdoor wedding of a 50 to 100 people and you don't have a lot of background noise going on in the background. Or if you have a conference, or if you have a conference room and you want to bring in 10, 20, 50, 100 people, maybe that's going to be a large conference room. This is going to be more of like a training type room. But again, small to mid-size events is what this is going to be a really, really great for. So I hope that this was helpful for you. It's helpful for me just to sit here and process with you all. What are the pros? What are the cons? And I'm also testing out live stream. This is the first live stream that I've done on the Event Builder Pro channel. And so I'd be honored if you subscribed for more. I'm even typing this out as we do this. Event planning tips, tricks, and tactics. I'm going to do scroll across the bottom and bam. Okay, subscribe. So this is helpful for you. Be sure to check out the links in the description of this video. I've got free templates that you can download that are going to help you with your event planning. There's more videos that you can check out. I'll add them right here, including one that teaches you how to use artificial intelligence in order to speed up your event planning process. It'll save you time and make you more productive. And my name is Sean. I am the CEO, the Chief Events Officer, Chief Executive Officer, whatever you want to title it. I'm the founder and the CEO of Event Builder. And again, if you want to check out the Bose L1 Pro 8 system, be sure to go to the link in the description of this video, where I literally just signed up tonight for the Amazon affiliates program, but you can check it out, the system, for yourself. It's got that $1,300 price tag. Read reviews. I highly recommend that. Check out what other people are saying for it. But overall, in my professional opinion, it is a great system. It's easy to use, and it's really going to be a great option for you if you are doing events time and time again. So be sure to check that out in the description. Thanks, y'all, and we'll see you in a future video.